Hi, I'm Megan Barnett. My unit plan was over the Texas Revolution, the main topic being social studies, and the other three subjects incorporated in this unit were language arts, fine arts, and math. According to the text, for fourth grade students, social studies, they need to be able to analyze the causes, major events, and effects of the Texas Revolution, including the Battle of Alamo, the Battle of San Jacinto, the Declaration of Texas Independence, and the Runaway Scrape. Um, to get the kids interested in the topic as they come in the classroom, I would ask them one of two questions: who won the Battle of Alamo, or who was Sam Houston? I would not tell them if they were correct on their answers. I would just direct them to one side of the room. This helps me knowing if what the students already know about the topic of what we're fixing to go over in class. After everyone is seated, I will let them know who was correct and who was wrong, just by simply saying, okay, the right side, y'all were correct in knowing your information, and the left side, you were wrong. But we're gonna go over why you didn't know the answers. I would also have the classroom stand up and direct so many people to one side and so many of those students to the other side, the majority being on one side. And then I would say, okay, this is the Mexican army and this is the Texas army. And it would give them a comparison of the difference in the size of the two armies during the Texas Revolution. And then I will have the students sit down for our social studies lesson. We will, to begin it off, I will show them a clip that I found of the Battle of Alamo. We will watch that, and it kind of gives them an idea of what we're going to go over. Then we'll probably open up our text and take turns reading. I will stop from here and there, asking questions, so it's not just straight reading in a boring lecture. Important things that we're going to cover during the reading are dates of battles, the importance of people such as Sam Houston and William B. Travis, who Santa Anna was. We'll go over the number of soldiers in the armies, the main reasons for the battles, the location, which also involves geography, and dates is going to be important. Some questions that I might ask them after the reading to see what they picked up on and learned would be who was the father of Texas? Also for dates, what date was the Texas independence signed? Who was in command of the Battle of Alamo? Who won the Battle of Alamo? What happened? What was the difference between Sam Houston and Santa Anna, two important leaders of both of the armies? Which army had the most troops? The whole social studies lesson will start from as soon as they enter the classroom until that session is over. Then for language arts, after going over the Texas Revolution and stuff, some activities that we might do. Let me back up a minute. For social studies, some of the activities that we might do after the lesson would be to make a timeline of the events of the Texas Revolution. I'd want them to be creative with it, not just draw a line on a piece of paper. I would want them to write in the dates, certain events for those dates. Put in graphics. Just be creative with it. Another activity that they could do is create a pamphlet for a museum that would have information about the leaders from the Texas Revolution, dates, and just kind of informational pamphlet as if it was going to be presented at a museum. For language arts, what we would do is we would review again the information, the things that happened throughout the battles, and the people that were there. I would have them pretend that they were a troop or soldier in one of the battles, and they would need to write home a letter to a family member, and they would need to describe the weather it was like, their location. Was it, sandy or rocky, or were there trees? Be very descriptive in their writing. to home, how the battles were taking place, the sounds they heard, the events happening around them, the date, the letter would be important, of course. Also, another language arts activity that we would do would be persuasive writing, because that's important for 4th grade. They would need to, again, write another letter persuading the leaders to send more troops to them. For example, they would need to send a letter to Sam Houston or another leader asking and persuading them to send more troops to Battle Alamo, and describe why they needed more troops and their main points and reasons and just stuff in order to persuade for more troops to come to the battle. Also, language arts, narrative writing is important for 4th grade. So I would have the students write a poem, a narrative poem about the Battle of San Jacinto. Then for our fine arts activities and lessons, I would have different, over on the projector, artwork from Mexico and from Texas during that time of the Texas Revolution. And they would need to compare and contrast the two different types of artwork. Then for fun, I would want them to paint a picture of the leaders, but two opposite leaders, like Sam Houston and Santa Anna, or William B. Travis, just a leader in the Texas Revolution, and paint a picture, and that's for the fine arts projects. For math, our math topic, what we would do is we would create a graph showing the difference in the number of troops between the Mexican Army and the Texas Army during the Texas Revolution. Then also we would have a map, and they could figure out the distance between the locations of the different battles. And instead of having the exact distance, I would want them to round the number of miles between the locations. This helps in a little bit of geography for social studies, but also because rounding your numbers is one of the texts for 4th grade. So this would be included in our math subject. But everything, all the activities and all the lessons revolves around the Texas Revolution. So whatever we're doing, it's going to be artwork from the battles, or letters like you were a part of the battle, poems about a battle. Just everything revolves around the Texas Revolution. And I think that this is a good way to incorporate what they need to know for social studies, things for language arts, math, and fine arts for 4th grade texts in this unit.